All right, here's example 1.2 for class 1. I think this is like video 5 or 6. Where we have 1 cubic meter container and it's filled with 0.12 cubic meters of granite and 0.15 cubic meters of sand and 0.2 cubic meters of liquid 25 degrees Celsius water, and the rest of this volume is air with a density of 1.15 kilograms per cubic meter. Find the overall average specific volume and density. So, there's a couple little things to look up here or to find. And some of the first things to do is to find the textbook, which is hiding from me. All right, so here's my 8th edition. And so, let me write this first. Okay, so there's a bunch of volumes, and they all add up. So we can get what the total volume is going to be. Do I need to do that? Or no, it already says. I guess they did this for us. Right? Liquid. Oh, and the rest right here. So they already did that math for us. I don't know why we didn't have to, right? So they said this total is going to be equal to subscript here and go, there's my granite, GRN, granite, plus and I'm just picking these myself. I don't know what to call them. SND, I like to have it. No, I try not to go to 4, but sometimes I do 4 subscript letters to the thing. The liquid, and then plus V air. And you could add these all up to each other if you want, if you're a skeptic of the thing. 0.12, but it's a mistake. 0.15 plus 0.2 plus 0.53. And personally, I think that these things are going to separate right here, so it doesn't make any sense to call this density, but we're going to play along with them. Anyway, that should add up to 1 if you have trust issues like I do. And I want to make a pitch for the HP35S. It's a different type of calculator. It's called reverse Polish notation. And as many of the people in the engineering clubs, the club, it's not really a club, will tell you, this is the way to be a real engineer. It's a strange system, but look, like here you go. Instead of going plus, I go 1, enter, 2, enter, 3, enter, right here, and then maybe 4, and then I add them together. So 3 and 4 I just made add to each other. Let's say I'm going to add 2 and 7, hit plus again, and you can see the 1 came down. It's called a stack, and it rolls. There's only 4 things that it rolls onto the thing, but it makes a very efficient type of way. And I will try to convince someone someday in one of my classes to get an HP, reverse Polish notation. And this is the one that's approved for the FE exam. There's a bunch of others that are approved for the FE exam, but this is the HP, and there's like another model. But this has it's got reverse Polish notation, and it's a great system. So 0.12, 0.15, and you add them together, 0.2, add them together, 0.53, add them together. Sure enough, equals 1, right? I will demonstrate my HP calculator over and over again until somebody, someday, you'll see. You'll go work, you'll get a job after graduation, and your boss will have one, and you'll be like, oh, I've seen that before. Dr. Deal used to use that. Well, he's going to say, well, that's because he's a real engineer. Or that's what she'll say. That's why he was a real engineer. Or something like that. So anyway, and getting ready to this, let's look up props. See, I saved myself a little bit of time calling it props instead of properties. So I'm going to get they gave us the density of gravel, right? Did they give us the density of gravel? How do you look up the density of gravel? Let's look for it. So, gravel. look up the density. Did I find it? It should be in A.3. I think so. Boom, 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 boom. I'm in the F, I'm in the A, I'm in the A. It's like watching paint dry with me looking this thing up right here, right? There's 0.1, there's 0.2. Gravel, 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 gravel. These are, what kind of substances? These are all gases. Selected solids. There we go. Boom. And we have granite. This isn't gravel, it's granite. Why did I have a V in there? I think I'm dumb, that's why. So anyway, we have 2750. Write that down. So, no, that's granite at GRN. There's their N. 2750. Kilograms per cubic meter. All right. And now let's look up what the sand is. SND. Sandy. Sand, dry sand. Let's say it's 1500. Sure, 1500 kilograms per 1500. I'm going to go over here for this next one. Did they tell us water? The water? Oh, and they said liquid. Why did I go liquid? Oh, liquid water. Water. And it's at 25 degrees Celsius. You can go, here's some liquids, and they're all at 25 degrees Celsius. Whee! And you'll notice actually water is usually pretty close to 1,000. But I think that's at like 4 degrees Celsius. So it's just a little bit 997. We almost always call it 1,000. I think most normal people call it 1,000. But anyway, 1,000. But 997. I'll 997. Sure. Kilogram per meter cubed. And the rest, they told us that the air. And so this is a fallacy right here that they're putting the air in there. I don't know why they're putting the air in there. I think they're trying to make some kind of point. Read the example, and they'll tell you at the end of it, well, it's kind of stupid to put the air in there because the air and this don't mix with each other. So it's not. But then I don't think it's really going to affect the thing because this is such a small number compared to there. So probably not going to hurt the results. But anyway, you want to get the mass of the granite. You take the density times the volume of the granite. I put an N on there. So 2750 and 0.12, and I didn't bother with the units because I know the units. I know the units are going to work out. That's probably not a good role model to do, but I've taken to doing that most of my career, and I also do all these parentheses on top of things all the time for whatever reason. I don't really know anymore. But we had 330 kilograms. I put the 0 in there because I want to keep emphasis 4 sig figs. Watch the 4 sig figs. Don't get lazy. The mass of the sand is the density of the sand times the volume of the sand, or what did I say, 1500, and the volume is 0.15. So 225 kilograms. And then the mass of the water was the density of the water and the volume of the water. And so that's 997. Should be 1,000. Don't tell anybody. I think it's stupid. We'll stick with it. And that should be 199.4 kilograms. And then the mass of the air, which is stupid. Don't say stupid. That's mean. The kids were not allowed to say stupid when you're a little kid. You're not allowed to say it. 0.53. 0.6095 kilograms. I mean, look how small that is compared to these others right here. And I guess I'll write it out longhand, right? Mass total. We can get. I won't rewrite out what the equation needs to be into the thing. It's a little obvious that you were going to do that. I don't know. think there's a nice balance between skipping steps and not skipping steps. And this is a step I choose to skip. 755 kilograms, and then of course the density the density of here would be the mass tot over v tot, which is just going to be 755 over 1. I don't know. You could probably have told me that if I was a good professor, a consistent professor, I would put that into there, right? 4 sig figs. Is that, communicates that the thing is completely known. 7, I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. 755 0 kilograms, and then also, well, we want the specific volume. 1 over the density, we can go 1 divided by 755.0. I don't think I have it written down. 755. And then I hit my magical button. Where'd you go? Right there, boom. All right, so this is 0.0013245, but we call it 5. And that's supposed to be per meter. Right, there you go. Cubic meters per kilogram. That's fine with me. I tend to put things in scientific notation. Let me do the thing I tell you to do, and let's go to 3 sig figs with this. Kilograms per cubic meter, and the specific volume. I don't know if I like that full cursive. I might take to doing that right there instead of doing the full cursive for the specific volume. I don't write specific volume a lot, so I'm kind of trying to make up my mind what's the best way to write it. You can go 1.32 from that might be correct, but maybe 1, 2, 3, 5. If it starts with 1, you should really have it 4 sig figs right there. So there's 4 sig figs. I just like keeping my calculator in there, so I don't have to write it. Just keep a calculator in. I usually use 4 decimal places with that right there, and it makes my life easy. So anyway, make sure you're boxing the answer. My daughter's calling me, so I'm going to end this video.